Thank you so much, each and every one of you. I'm not able to read all your names because it's going pretty fast. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, now companies that embrace Six Sigma methodologies, you have seen in Motorola, Dr. Michael Harry. Now, what he did was he actually left Motorola and joined ABB, Asia Brown Boveri. How many of you have heard about ABB? Just type ABB in the chat box if you heard about it. So many of you have heard about ABB. Okay, yeah. Superb. Okay. And this gentleman, probably this image is not quite, maybe may not be quite familiar to you. His name was Richard. I can't pronounce the next name. So his name is Richard, who later co-founded Six Sigma Academy along with Dr. Michael Harry. The Six Sigma Academy was started by Dr. Michael Harry. And I had the fortune when I actually left working for corporates in the year 2010 and started this Lean Six Sigma journey of teaching others. In the year 2012 or 13, I got a call from the secretary of Dr. Michael Harry. Okay. So he said, Dr. Michael Harry wants to talk to you, which is a good time to talk to you. And I was fortunate to have a few conversations with Dr. Michael Harry, because somewhere through LinkedIn, when I wrote a lot of articles, case studies and stuff like that, okay, he wanted to speak to me and asked, if he had a product, and he said, if you can take it to the Indian customers. Isn't it awesome? Just type awesome in the chat box. And this is just personally, when I saw, I have not seen him, I have not met him. Okay, it is just that, I got a call from his secretary, and then after 3 days, we had probably some 15 to 20 minute conversation. I had a personal 15 to 20 minutes conversation with the doctor. Now, Dr. Michael Harry left us, he's no more, but I'm fortunate and I'm very happy now when I see here, okay, that I had a conversation with him. Of course, I did not continue. I did not pursue what he asked because he wanted me to merge with him and I wanted to actually independently do something. Okay, so he understood that the customers wouldn't buy if the quality was low. Okay, and he realized that the business money is just the byproduct of the quality that you give. Okay, so he said, you work on quality, money will be the byproduct. So his main focus was on quality. So knowing that people could approve Six Sigma initiatives by money, Harry actually added financial strategies to the approach. So he said, the language, if you see his breakthrough strategy, there's a book called Breakthrough Strategy by Dr. Michael Harry. If you read his book, it's the language of leaders is money. How many of you agree? Just type agree in the chat box. He said the language of leaders is money. So he said, he was the first one who actually got a buy-in from all the leaders by saying, for this quality or Sigma level, it will translate into so much of money to you. Okay, so this made the method prioritize financial goals with other concerns and objectives connected to the financial success. Okay, we are just still in the history of Six Sigma. Allied Signal. There's another company. Please write it in your notebook. In 1993, so Harry and this gentleman got jobs at Allied Signals. There was this CEO called Larry. He was also into Six Sigma. So he saw that the top leaders had trouble working with experts like analysts and engineers. So Larry also taught leaders needed to know about Six Sigma to choose the right projects and help them succeed across companies. So Allied Signals was one of the companies which actually got deep into Six Sigma and got great results. So Harry, often called the architect of Six Sigma, made a way to teach the top leaders in Allied Signals. So he created systems so that the leaders in the whole organization would use it in a very, very methodical fashion.
Okay, I'm going a little faster because it's just a history of Six Sigma. I wanted to give a deep background about the Six Sigma so that your organizations develop a belief that if you follow this structured methodology, it will help you. How many of you find this useful? Because I've spent quite deep into the history of Six Sigma. Please type useful because I want to make sure that each and every minute of yours is valuable. Okay, great. Okay, you'll get some of you are asking me for the presentations. Just stay till the end and attend this upcoming webinar. I'll tell you how to access the presentation material, videos, and all that. Okay. So Jack Welch, many of you typed Jack Welch. He got interested in Six Sigma. So before that, he was really not into this quality measures. Okay, he thought dive deep into the quality and trying to improve that looked too strict for people and probably didn't give good results. But then when Larry had a meeting with Welsh, okay, he understood the importance of Six Sigma. So he also wanted to know if Six Sigma at G would be a good idea. And then Larry demonstrated to Jack Welch that you are in 3 to 4 Sigma, and if you go to 6 Sigma, how much of your quality will improve and give you the returns. Okay, now this will be amazing. Okay, he demonstrated that if they could reach 6 Sigma from somewhere between 3 to 4 Sigma, they could save a lot of money, around 7 to 10 billions, according to what he estimated. So all of you type WOW, wow, in the chat box. And I have shared the reference content also here, where this detail was put. The reason is people who have got practically applied this and got benefited, you should know about all this to actually get inspired to learn this methodology and follow this methodology. Okay, so he wrote a book called Winning. Okay, and if you see here, Warren Buffett has actually written in the title book, no other management book will ever be needed. That's what Warren Buffett has written. So if you want to win, read this book, Winning. Okay, he recognized Six Sigma champion. He was recognized as a Six Sigma champion, for his major contributions to statistical process controls, Six Sigma tools, and showing the leaders the right ways to use Six Sigma. He made GE grow leaps and bounds by using this. So today, if you ask number one company which got greatly benefited from this methodology is GE, not because one is because of this methodology by itself, but the leader's commitment to transform organizations. Okay, so one is financial performance, but he was also started measuring each and every product through Six Sigma performance. Okay, so this gave employees some motivation. Okay, on a part of ongoing process improvement, because when you say that from 3 Sigma I've increased by 3.5, 4, 4.5, 5, 5.5, this gave them the motivation to do more and more. All right, let's go a little deeper. So now the time for question and answer. How many of you are ready for question and answer? Just type ready in the chat box. It's going to be an easy question, okay? This is too much of stuff, history stuff. So I wanted to just energize all you with a question and answer session. Okay, great. Isn't this an easy question? Let's see who types the answer in the chat box. Okay, there are multiple names that are being typed. Okay, yeah. So Bill Smith, Michael Harry, Walter Shewart, and Jack Welch. And what is your answer? Please put it in the chat box. Okay, just now we saw it was Mr. Bill Smith, and he's that gentleman. Okay. And I'm also sharing this question because when you attend my program this time, I wanted to make sure that all of you know these basic questions. You remember through these questions, okay? Through this question answers, you remember this entire methodology, because I wanted to create world's largest community of the Lean Six Sigma trainers, coaches, and consultants. Okay. So continued growth of Six Sigma. Let's go deeper. After seeing G and Motorola do well, many companies tried it. And this is just, I wanted to ask the entire 1,000 people here, which are the other companies whom you know who have actually excelled in this, got highly benefited from this Lean Six Sigma methodologies? Put it in the chat box. Let's see how many companies. ABB, okay. Toyota, of course. Motorola, yes, we have seen Samsung, okay. Nokia, okay. Okay, there are a lot of companies. Let's see. DuPont, yeah, good. DuPont, great. So let's see some of the companies, okay. GE, Xerox, Sony, Accenture. Accenture is also deeply into Six Sigma, okay. Wipro. In fact, Wipro has opened one division to teach Six Sigma. I don't know how many of you know that. Wipro has got consulting in Lean Six Sigma methodology. It has opened a separate division. Caterpillar is another great company, okay. Okay, Microsoft. So after seeing G and Motorola do well in Six Sigma, many companies quickly embrace it. Sadly, this is sad part of it. In a hurry to use this method, a lot of organization didn't do the improvements well. The execution was not pretty well. Okay, they also did not understand what is called SPC, statistical process control, enough before making the changes. Even though Six Sigma helped some companies and saved a lot of money, some had bad experiences with it. How many of you can relate to what I'm saying? Just type IC or I can relate in the chat box. Since I have gone through, over 25 years of this, I can see how many of them had tough experiences with this. Okay, great. I'm happy that, a lot of you had some good experiences with Six Sigma. Okay, that bad experiences led to misunderstanding and false ideas. So people started saying, hey, Six Sigma is outdated. And one of the examples that people give why Six Sigma is outdated is Motorola followed Six Sigma, but Motorola is no more, we're not very doing well. Nokia followed it, not very well, and this thing. So it's not just about Lean or Six Sigma. This is more about the strategic decision on what the customer wants. Okay, how many of you are clear about what I'm communicating? Type SC, super clear, in the chat box. This is very, very important to understand. Go with the mindset and not people with very, very, what to say, do not have good idea or immature idea on these methodologies. They'll say, oh, those are all outdated, without knowing, narrow mind. Yeah, without even having an idea about this. They just comment by saying, oh, these are all outdated methodologies. There are new methodology systems that has come here. Excellent. Ignorant. Yeah, ignorant, low knowledge. Thanks for those words, because I was not getting the right words to say that. Okay, fine. Now, Six Sigma is solely concerned with metrics and ignore common sense. Is it true or false? All of you type false in the chat box. Okay. It is solely concerned with metrics and ignore common sense. It's false. Okay. These are all some of the myths about Six Sigma. Okay. The myths about Six Sigma. So whatever I'm going to show in each size, you should type false, because these are all myths about Six Sigma. Okay. Now, Six Sigma is just not about numbers. It actually begins with common sense ideas through brainstorming. Okay. It checks these ideas with the data to make sure they are right. See, it starts with common sense, brainstorming, and checks that, validates that with the data. In God we trust, the rest of them bring data. That's what we say. Some people mistakenly think Six Sigma ignores common sense, because managers who used to make decisions without being questioned may face scrutiny in Six Sigma setting. Okay, because they make decisions based on gut feeling and experience. How many of you agree? How many of you agree? Many leaders, they take decisions based on gut feeling and experience. They say that, what is this? They say that, your age is my experience. Listen to what I'm saying. I have enough gray hairs to talk about it. Please listen to what I'm saying. Type 100% if you agree with me, 100%. Okay. And now,
with due respects to all those people who are experienced, okay, but now they are questioned with data. Experience is a good starting point, but it has to be validated with data. Okay, now people who are with experience are being questioned through data, and when they feel that through data they are proved wrong, then they feel offended. Okay, and so they're not comfortable. And sometimes data is also misused to support conclusions that they go against common sense. Sometimes they say, hey, this data, no, I don't believe in that, because they said, oh, this is this, they think that it's going against common sense. But if you do the right analysis, data is the one that has to speak, not the process has to do the talking through data and not the people. When these conclusions are proven wrong, people may wrongly blame Six Sigma process due to the lack of understanding of the statistical theories that are involved behind that. So if this slide is clear, on a scale of 1 to 10, please give me a 9 or 10 if it is super, super clear. This is a real depth. Okay, great. Now, next. Six Sigma is too expensive. True or false? And I already told you, in all these slides, these are all myths and you'll have to type false, okay? Okay. Now, using Six Sigma can be costly initially because this is called, in cost of poor quality, there is a cost involved because of failure. It might be an internal failure or external failure. And there is also a cost which is involved to prevent the failures from happening. This is a preventive cost. How many of you are clear? Training is a preventive cost. Okay, prevention and appraisal costs that we call in cost of poor quality, because you invest in equipment to detect the defects. Okay, so, and you need real experience to understand this. Okay, and you need real experience to understand deeply what is cost of poor quality and this thing. Okay, and that is, when you see the graph, you can spend money to prevent, and then how much money you have to spend is something that your COPQ graph will tell you. And beyond a particular level, you should not spend. Okay, after that, it will become more expensive. Okay, it's a U-shaped type of a graph. So using Six Sigma can be costly initially because of training, but introducing it gradually usually costs very less over time because it starts giving return on investment. Organization need to balance adopting Six Sigma with budget concerns. Okay, and however, when done right, Six Sigma often saves more. When done right, I'm telling you, when done right, it often saves more money than initial investment. Okay, Six Sigma can fix anything in the world. True or false? For all these questions is false answer. Okay. Okay, I'll tell you what Six Sigma cannot fix. It cannot fix an attitude of a person if he is not willing to do. It cannot, bring in a culture. Okay. So it has to be a commitment of the leaders to do that. Six Sigma is a problem-solving approach. Okay. It's a problem-solving approach. Some people strongly support it, thinking it can solve any issue. However, it is not always helpful for problems related to people or work culture. How many of you who are experienced here can relate to what I'm saying? Type ICR, I can relate in the chat box. I wanted to reveal everything in this depth. You will not get it anywhere because I've been doing it for almost 3 decades now. So I'm going into the depth. Superb. Okay. So if the problem is with how people feel or human related issues, using statistics may not be solutions. Okay. But if the issue is about how a task is done or its performance, if the issue is about how the task is done or its performance, then Six Sigma can be used to make improvement, which can boost the morale. Okay. Oh my God. I never realized that we have crossed 9 o'clock. Okay, if you found today's session interesting, valuable, useful, fantastic, awesome, please type in the chat box. For the first time, normally I keep a check on the time and I didn't know how the time fly by. If you found today's session interesting, useful, valuable, fantastic, awesome, please put it in the chat box.